It's about the crime stats, but now I'm asking about my satisfaction on what happened last year. The answer, the Acting National Commission already responded to that. The only thing we wanted to achieve last year was to be given an opportunity to do that which we're employed to do as a police. To the extent that we saw that there was some blockages coming from within those with authority, that's why we had to go out public. So we have seen, since the intervention from the President and the Parliament and many structures of government, we are beginning to see cases enroll in court, and that is all what was a cry for us. Some criminals that were walking freely, they are now in custody. And we are seeing the beginning of the grinding of the criminal justice wheel as it's supposed to be. So, of course, there are a lot of work that needs to be done, but we hope that a lot will be achieved in this period. So I am satisfied. What makes KZN tactical operation different from any other policing provinces in as far as shooting is concerned? I don't know how to explain this. Every police officer is sent to the college and get trained on Criminal Procedure Act, and everyone gets to know how to apply Section 9 of that Criminal Procedure Act, the use of force. Maybe KZN are well trained on firearms. They maintain their training. I think Division HRD can confirm that. And they do understand the application of the Section 49 of the Act. So perhaps that's what makes them to survive. In a gunfight, the one who throws first is the one who survives. Whether the KZN criminals are branded worse than the others in the province, and I'm sure the recent shooting happened in Gauteng recently, but Gauteng has not been asked this question. And it was deadly, not just the biggest shooting I think that's happened in the country for over 19 almost suspect was in Limpopo, not even in KZN. But questions seem to be directed in KZN. I do not know what's the reason. But nonetheless, shooting happens across the country. It happens. Police officers are trained to work. And it might happen that shooting happens in KZN. It might not necessarily be police officers that are based in KZN. We know that South African police is a national department. Police officers moves around. You'll find Gauteng police, Jerome Tomeni is tracing suspect in Gauteng, and he end up finding them in KZN. And he shoots them in KZN. He gets recorded as KZN, whereas it's Gauteng. So don't be confused. We might need to get the details exactly. Who's done the shooting? Is it KZN police or who? Because we work all across the board. We just don't communicate who was involved. We just simply say the police. However, I want to still encourage citizens to know that the government established IPIT for the reason. The IPIT is there for the purpose of investigating the abuse of power by the police. So if you feel concerned about the conduct of police anywhere in the country, approach IPIT. And I hope they will do justice in investigating to find out exactly whether is it factual that police are abusing power or is just a myth that is out there. So I want to invite you to use the services of IPIT. They are there for the reason. I know they understaff, Acting Minister. They still need more resources to help us, to keep us in shape. I'm not sure if I captured all these questions. There is a question about the work that I'm assigned to do here in Pretoria, whether the work has it started. I'm here. I'm sure you noticed that today I'm wearing a suit because organized crime mainly is about investigation. Perhaps that's the reason why I'm dressed like this. But I did come here. As started in April, we started coordinating this work in April, and we are already hard at work and coordinating different teams that are on the ground. I'm sure you'll appreciate that the South African Police Service is given a mandate by the Constitution of the Republic. At Section 205, subsection 3, the primary contained there are three main things that need to be done by the police: the prevention of crime, the combating of crime, and the investigation of crime. So the South African Police Service, as we structure ourselves, the establishment of DPCI and the assignment of responsibility to different units, it creates silo operations within the police. So the National Commission have identified that these silo approaches that happens in the police You have member of uniform branch on one side, detective branch on one side, intelligence on the other, forensic on the other, DPCI on the other. It creates that weaknesses in the system. So therefore, it is important for us to coordinate ourselves so that we have a united approach in dealing with organized crime. You'll see when you read Police Act, you'll find chapters that are specific on Section 16 on how we should deal with organized crime, how we must collaborate with each other to make sure that from the DPCI, provinces and units, how we should assist each other in fighting crime. The Constitution also forces us in terms of cooperation amongst departments to work together. So what we've seen as also gaps is how we coordinate our operations with the NPA in the main. That create weaknesses in the system. So in the South African Police Service, we're trying to coordinate ourselves, working with DPCI and different divisions in the police at the national level, so that we can create an approach that the acting minister that also invited us to not forget what has worked for us, the PKTT strategy that has been successful in our country. We basically bring all these teams together under one central command, and we focus on prioritization in terms of the syndicates that you need to tackle, and we deploy this entire team to go and tackle the syndicate in whatever province that we're going to assign them to go to. So that's what we are busy putting together at the national level. And we've got a command structure that we've set out. Myself, Gerald Nkosi from DPCI is part of it, and Gerald Sintumule, I think Gerald Kumalo, Gerald Mamoteti, amongst others. They are going to be part of the core command that is going to work in looking at the job that is going to be done by these teams that we're going to put it out there. So a PKTT approach is what is going to help us, because we're dealing with priority crimes that are affecting the country that you need to prioritize. So that is basic, in short, how I'm going to summarize the work that we're going to be doing. But the work has already started. The teams that the Acting National Commission was talking about, with the successes that they've already achieved, they're going to be part of what you're doing. Maybe in closing, the acting minister is that the PKTT will have been known as established for the purpose of political-related cases, but for the bigger part of the work that they've been doing, we've discovered through analysis that every crime or criminal case that they were dealing with is organized. Mr. Sindiso Magagwa, the famous late politician that was killed in KZN, has caused so much noise in the country. The murder of that gentleman was not mere political competition, but it was corruption. Corruption within municipality. So that's why we might have convicted the killer, but we are not done on that case, because it's corruption that we're dealing with. And many other cases where people are killed, it's not necessarily because of just simple political competition, but it's because of corruption. So organized crime that we are employing is going to go to that extent, and in the land and brand of the country and abroad. So thank you so much. I hope I've answered everything.